Here on this channel, we've repeatedly told you that Star Wars is now headed for a soft reset. They might not be interested in a mea culpa, but the vision of Kathleen Kennedy is quickly coming to an end. In the past, we said that Luke Skywalker was allegedly returning to the Mandalorian, an exclusive scoop. And now today, folks, we're ready to tell you what's happening, we believe, in the media as Mark Hamill is weighing in. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of that culture curve. And my, oh my, is the track record growing. Folks, we got to go back in time for just a moment. As we do, click the like button. And this is an article out 5 days ago on That Park Place, as we have been scooping and scooping, and yes, scooping. Rumor, Luke Skywalker feature in Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu film. Now, who did this come from? Well, it came from little old me. The latest rumor comes from scooper WDW Pro in a recent video uploaded to YouTube. Pro shared information from one of his sources. The source tells me to look back to what Favreau said originally when he came on board with Star Wars, telling Lucasfilm and Disney particularly that the thought he could help. And he says that you can expect this movie to be a return to the quality of the first two seasons, but most importantly, you might even consider this to be a Luke Skywalker movie. Now, why are they going back to Luke Skywalker? Well, because nothing else is working, because their licensing partners are furious, because the Disney sequel trilogy, the spin-off trilogy, is not working. And yes, we are still sitting on some information we have about the Rey movie that we are looking forward to bringing you very soon. Lucasfilm announced the Mandalorian and Grogu movie in a blog post in January. It stated, "The Mandalorian and Grogu are embarking on a new adventure to movie theaters," directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and Dave Filoni. The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production in 2024. Now, when did we report that this was going to go into production, folks? We said in June. We said in June, and we've said that consistently. Why have we said that consistently? Because we've known that this was running up against a very hard brick wall in terms of then trying to get a season 4 done. And that's why we believe there is no season 4 of The Mandalorian anymore, is because they ran out of time to do it. They didn't have time if they were going to do the movie. And now the movie is getting ready to go into production. Now, before a movie goes into production, you have to go into costuming and get people's measurements and get all kinds of things done with the actors before you ever get into the actual production of the filming, right? So you've got to do the table reads and all of that. So let's take a look now at the timing of this. And don't forget, they were not ready. They were definitely not ready for us to come out on a major channel such as this and say, Luke Skywalker's coming back, and have tens of thousands of people read that and then articles being published about it. They did not have that desire, I think, for that to be already known. So how do you handle a situation such as that? Well, here is the Dork side of the Force website. This by Nick San Miguel, and it says, Mark Hamill cryptically teases new movie, fueling Star Wars speculation. Now, there are multiple ways to read the message that Mark Hamill has put out there, and thank goodness it's not a political one for once. We are in a deluge of political messaging, and frankly, it's nice to have something else to talk about coming out of Mark Hamill. Now, let's see what it says. The legendary actor Mark Hamill, who famously portrayed Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, just made a cryptic post on the social media platform Twitter, I think it's called X, that instantly fueled Star Wars speculation. But you know what, folks? You can call it Twitter. I still call it Twitter. And you know what? This author and Dork side of the Force, you can call it Twitter too. Mark Hamill cryptically teases new movie, which fuels Star Wars speculation. Dork side, I'm going to tell you, I think we already started that speculation, but the speculation continues to grow. All right, here's what the tweet says. This tweet will gain significance when the movie I start today is publicly announced. Now, I think that this is purposefully written this way to create ambiguity. And let me explain what the ambiguity is. Mark Hamill here is saying that this tweet will gain significance when the movie I start today is publicly announced. You could read that to mean that this is a movie which is not yet announced, in which case it is not The Mandalorian. It is not Baby Grogu. He is not hanging out with Baby Yoda. And by the way, even if he is in the Mandalorian movie, he is not going to be seen at any point. He's going to be there in an advisory role. He is going to be there acting out the scene and then handing it over to another actor who will portray Luke. He's going to be there assisting with the voice, the annotations, and all of that. But what would Mark Hamill be working on right now at the very beginning of shooting for The Mandalorian in about 3 weeks, folks? 3 weeks. What would he be doing if not that? What other movie is there that he would be working on if not that, which is so big that it needs its tweet? What other movie needs a cryptic tweet that says, hey, this will gain, this will gain significance when this thing's announced? What other movie would you market that way? And why would you even do that with a Star Wars film? You would do that if someone had already scooped that you're working on this. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget the May the 4th video, the promotional video that came out from Disney, which had Mark Hamill in it. And when that happened, what did we tell you? We said, Mark Hamill did not just randomly appear in this video. He's not at the beck and call of Disney at any time. It's because he's under contract. And so they had access to him because he's around. He's there. And that's what we think is happening here. Here's what the article says. It says, of course, it should be noted off the bat that this is not any sort of announcement from Hamill that he will be involved in a future Star Wars project. It could very well be a case of Hamill having some fun by teasing Star Wars fans when he is actually beginning filming on a movie that has nothing to do with Star Wars. Hamill has even said publicly that he feels there is no need for Luke in future Star Wars stories. But my, oh my, how the times are changing. And even they say, the other two upcoming Star Wars films, because I promise you, it's not the Rey movie. Listen, folks, we'll get to the Rey movie soon. We're going to get it to you soon, but I promise it's not the Rey movie. The other two upcoming Star Wars films in which Hamill could appear as Luke are The Mandalorian and Grogu, as well as Dave Filoni's film, which will explore the New Republic at the same time period as The Mandalorian, so roughly 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Listen, the Filoni movie is essentially the second part of a trilogy of Mandalorian and Grogu movies, right? It's the second part, and it moves more into Ahsoka. So that's what that is. It's a Thrawn trilogy, and the Mandalorian and Grogu, that's when Luke Skywalker is going to be there. That's what Jon Favreau wants to do. That's what we believe. Now, as to Dave Filoni, I don't know if Mark Hamill will be in that, but I can tell you this. It's nowhere even close. There is nowhere even close to going into production on Dave Filoni's movie. That's not for 2 or 3 more years out. They might expedite it because there's going to be some there are going to be vacancies. We'll just say that. So they're going to maybe expedite it, but even in that case, they are not shooting it. They're not going into production. It has not started. It is nowhere close. So what is he talking about? Folks, just add it up. This is not hard. Do you think that Mark Hamill is on the same basic 3-week period that there's a new Star Wars film that it's going to be going in production, that we've told you Luke Skywalker is going to be in it? Do you think that Mark Hamill just suddenly starts tweeting about some other movie that he's in at the exact same time that is worthy of him doing this? Well, if you think that, go back and look if he ever does this ever with any other movies. And then you'll figure out that Mark Hamill is probably trying to get ahead, and maybe at the behest of Disney, trying to get ahead because the news is out. Somehow, some way, someone managed to get the news out. And before you say, oh, it's the Joker, no. Mark Hamill, this is out of PC Gamer. I'll show it to you, but it's not what it's about. This is 2 days ago out of PC Gamer. Jonathan Bolden, the author. Mark Hamill to return as the Joker in Multiverses. It'll likely be the actor's last video game laugh as the iconic crime clown. So, he will return as the Joker in a video game. What are we talking about? We're talking about the movies, baby. We're talking about show business. And I'm here to tell you that we are rapidly approaching perhaps one of the biggest scoops on the channel, yet again, getting confirmation there, rapidly approaching that, as folks realize that, yes, we're getting a Luke Skywalker movie. It might be called The Mandalorian and Grogu, but this is Jon Favreau laying the cards on the table and showing Disney that this was the way to go the entire time. Now, do I like Mark Hamill? Do I think he'll do a great job? Well, I don't think that Mark Hamill is going to actually be seen in this. This truly will be Luke in his digital form appearing. And I think that's grand. And I think it's great that Luke Skywalker is going to be an icon once more in his heroic glory. Now, am I pleased that we still go to the sequel trilogy? No. Do I think that this fixes Star Wars? No. But I think that it is Jon Favreau's best chance, his opportunity to say, here's what this franchise could be in the future when you get rid of all this junk. Here's what kind of money you could make. Here's what kind of enthusiasm you could garner. But folks, the only way that's going to happen is if you care enough to go see it. If you will return for one movie of seeing Luke be great, knowing that it is separated out, that it's a Jon Favreau thing, and then probably Favreau is done. Now, I can't predict what's in the heart and mind of Jon Favreau. Maybe he does not want to go after he makes this movie. Maybe it's so successful that he gains such power and that the ideals that he has for this franchise and ideas suddenly take off and he is the man of the hour and the day and everything. I don't know, but I can tell you that I suspect this is the last hurrah, the last huzzah for Jon Favreau with Star Wars, making a Star Wars movie. It's all lining up. Don't forget what George Lucas was reportedly doing from his friend, Academy Award-winning friend, who said that George is coming back to Star Wars. I got a feeling if I'm Jon Favreau and I'm putting Luke in the movie, and I'm going to make him the way that George envisioned him, that Mark wanted him to be, that fans wanted him to be. If I'm Jon Favreau, I'm having Mark Hamill on set with me. I might tell him, hey, Mark, no political opinions right now. It's not that you can't have the political opinions you have. You're just incredibly abrasive to everyone. But put those aside. Come on set with me. I'm going to bring George back, and we're going to have a Star Wars celebration, the three of us, making a movie that reminds folks of the Luke that should be. Then that would be a great time. And if so, great job, Jon Favreau. The pieces are lining up. And folks, as always, we brought you the news here first. Is it yet confirmed? No. But it's getting really, really close. And now it's your turn. Like, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know if we get a standalone Luke movie. Well, I guess it's not a standalone, but if you get Luke standing alone in the Disney diaspora of Star Wars, and he's actually good in this, and he's not the Luke that we find in The Last Jedi, are you willing to go support Jon Favreau? I don't know what your answer might be. Let me know. Folks, the Pro Show is live this Tuesday at noon Eastern. Dean Cain, Superman himself, stopping on by, and we are going to have very deep and exciting conversations, the kind that you simply cannot miss. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing. Happy Saturday, and keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I paid for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd think?